All right, this one's 2012, number 1. It's some questions about a scatter plot, about looking at the quality rating of sewing machines versus the price. And so we have a scatter plot here, and part A just says describe the nature of the association between the price and the quality. So in order to get full credit for this part, you had to describe 3 things. You described the strength, direction, and the form of the relationship here. So what we can see is there appears to be a sort of weak positive association between quality and price here, sort of indicating that the higher quality, the higher the price, which sort of makes sense. That's generally the trend, except we do have this point right here, and that's what sort of makes it weak. The other thing we should address is the form, and that is, does it look linear? Well, this point right here sort of makes the data not look linear. All right, so that's what I'm going to write in this response. There's a weak, can't spell weak, positive association between price and quality and the data appear nonlinear. Okay? So now it says one of the 14 sewing machines substantially affects the appropriateness of using a linear regression model to predict quality based on price. Report the approximate price and quality rating of that machine and explain that choice. Well, that's this point right here. Okay? If we had all but that point, there would be a clear linear relationship. Without that point, it doesn't look linear. Okay, so it's as simple as saying that, that's about, the machine with a quality rating of 65 and approximate price of about 2,200. Okay, and we had to just explain our choice. So clearly this point just doesn't fit the pattern of the other points. So how can we say that? So here's one way to say it, is to say that this point is inconsistent with a linear model, suggesting that higher quality machines cost more. Its cost is well above the machines of similar quality. I'll probably continue on to say that you could talk about residual plots, that it would contribute to a curved residual plot, but basically that this point does not fit with the linearity of the data, is what we're trying to say. So just real quick to look at this rubric about this, about part B. You can't just say that the point is an outlier. You can't just say, these are weak explanations, that removing the point makes the pattern more linear. You can't just say it doesn't follow the linear pattern of the other ones. There are many sort of ways to get partially correct here, but in order to get full credit, we needed to say that the point in conjunction, so we had to say that the point in conjunction with the entire collection of points appears to have a curved form. The linear model that includes all points would result in a poor overall fit to the data, largely owing the presence and influence to the identified point. So those are some ways that we could say that. All right, moving on to part C. Chris is interested in buying one of the 14 machines. You will consider buying only those machines for which there is no other machine that has both higher quality and lower price. On the scatter plot reproduced below, circle all the data points corresponding to the machines Chris would consider buying. So this is kind of weird because no explanation is necessary. We just have to circle all the points that would fit this. So if we're thinking of high quality and low price, we're looking at points that are in this area. Okay, and we're just sort of using their criterion. We're saying there's no other machine that both has higher quality and lower price. So let's look at this one right here. Okay, there is no machine that has higher quality than this. Okay, and lower price than this at the same time. This one also fits that criterion. Now, why do these other ones not? This one, let's say this one right here. This one, there's a one with a lower price that has a higher quality, so that one doesn't work. Something like this. This one has something with a higher quality and lower price. But both of these points, you know, this one, there are ones that have, I'm talking about this one right here, there are ones that have lower prices than this, but there are none with higher quality. This one here, there is one, or there are several with higher quality than this, but there are none with lower price. So those are the two that had to be circled here. And if we look at the rubric again, just to see how it's scored, that you had to circle both points and not any other ones. Partially correct if you circled both points and you had one or two other points, or if one of the 2 points is circled and at most one other point is circled, and then incorrect if it doesn't meet those criteria in there. So you can look at your response and figure out what you got based on that. And here is the full scoring rubric right there.